Today I've just about melted my brain, mostly because I got a project that just came up that a guy's wanting me to do, and a lot of you guys on here have been a huge help to me. If you've got any advice or any warnings on something like this, please let me know. I'm just kind of getting into it. I'm hungry, really want to get after it, but here's the situation. The two things I want to bring up, one being knowing what your job is and knowing what your job isn't. And then the other fact I want to bring up is knowing when to say no when it's outside of your capabilities. And what I'm kind of getting at with all of this is because the project that was presented to me is a pedestrian bridge. It's going to be spanning 25 to 30 feet. I haven't got a hard measurement yet, but I just was shown where it's got to go. So the issue with that being is, one, I'm a one-man show, and I'm a mobile welder. I don't have a fab shop. I can build this thing out in the middle of, any place that I need to. Fab shop would just make it easier. But, so a 25-foot bridge, 25 to 30-foot bridge. What that all is going to entail is, one, something that I'm not used to doing in this level of degree, and I might be completely overthinking it, but is actually the design of a bridge. I'm not an engineer. I know a lot of welders give engineers a hard time, but when this actually comes down to spanning 25 to 30 feet, understanding the moments of stresses on I-beams and all that such, I'm familiar with, but I'm not an engineer. I can't just say, oh, this bridge is going to be perfect. It's going to be able to span that, no problem, no sagging, no nothing. So my dilemma is getting into the liability of designing a bridge. I had asked if he wanted to have an engineer design it, and he said no, engineers cost too much, that he would be fine with whatever I just came up with. So I've been kind of on the fence. I did design a bridge, but I'm still not really 100% about it. If you guys are following me on Instagram or Facebook as well, you've probably already seen my design. I wrote it, it's just a flat bridge using two I-beams with cross members to tie it together and then some hand railing. But I still am not 100% sure if it's going to be strong enough. Then the other part on top of that, that's just building the bridge. So I've got to price out the steel, got to price out my time for building the bridge. 25-foot bridge, having it all cross-membered up and everything. It's going to be some serious time. Just off my guess right now, I'm thinking the steel's going to be, since I have some laying around, some I-beams and such laying around that I can use, and other material, he doesn't care if it's used or new or whatnot. I'm just looking at the steel alone is probably already being roughly around $2,500 to $3,500. Then just my time alone tacked onto it, I'm already guessing about 40 hours worth of work, and that might be on the light side. I really gotta look into it more. So 40 times 50, whatever, that's 2,000, right? I believe that's 2,000. So $2,000 there. So 2,000 plus another 3,500. We're already looking up at $5,500 just for labor and material. And then on top of that, I've got to have foundations poured on either side of this thing for it to land on. And then on top of that, another thing to take in consideration with this bridge is that expansion contraction. I've got to be aware of how much this thing's going to expand and contract from winter to summer. The heat and stuff. Everyone knows I won't say everyone, but a lot of steel workers understand the expansion coefficient for steel. So for every Fahrenheit it goes up, it expands a certain amount per foot. So over a longer distance, it expands farther and farther out. So that's all that's got to be taken into play. And then lastly is I've got to have someone install it. So you can see where this job for me would be an exceptional job. I could probably bid it out for maybe $15,000 to $20,000. I might be on the high side, low side, just throwing numbers out there. But I'm kind of getting to the point of overwhelmed because I'm just one man. Two, I'm a welder. I'm not really, I'm a welder and a fabricator. I am not a designer. So taking on the liability of designing a bridge that people will be walking on kind of has got me hesitant. And also, I'm not a general contractor. Just with me being who I am, just one guy in a truck, I tend to really fall into kind of the sub contractor side, or just subbing underneath someone. So taking on this big of a job of me having to actually, orchestrate getting probably a crane out here, a small crane or a boom truck, to install the 25-foot bridge once I have it built and I take it there, and also having to coordinate with the concrete guys to build or to form the concrete and then actually pour the concrete. And then of course I gotta install it and then have it bolted down and stuff. So all that being taken into effect, I might be outside my scope. I'm not sure, still really haven't decided. So anyone that's got any advice that I should probably be leery on this and maybe back off of it because I'm biting off more than I can chew, please do so. Or if it's just a good idea to just go after it and things will kind of fall into place as I go, then just throw it in there. I might just be overthinking it, but that's kind of what's going on right now. Is I went from not having so much work and really trying to get some, to now I'm bumping into 40 and 60 hour projects all of a sudden that I'm not used to having to fill with the manpower and coordinating with so many other crafts outside of just me showing up and welding. So go back to the 2 points specifically is know what you are, know what you aren't. I'm not a concrete guy and I'm not an operator, so I'm gonna have to get somebody that can operate heavy equipment to install it, and concrete guys to form up and to pour the concrete. I'm not gonna get in there and do it myself. I'm not a jack of all trades. And then 2, or the other part of that also is I'm not an engineer. So with it being kind of on a residential area, it's not really that critical, but there is still liability there. And then 2 is knowing when to turn down a job, even though you might be extremely hungry. I really don't want to turn this job down. I really don't. I love the challenge. I really want to take it on, but I am scared that I might be biting off more than I can chew, especially just kind of going from where I was to all of a sudden, bam, doing such a large project. I don't know that I could eat any kind of mistakes that I'd make on something this large. So I might have to end up saying no to this project and turn it over to a shop or a fabrication shop or machine shop, somebody that could actually build the bridge and is big enough to kind of take a hit or make a profit. Like I said, I would love to walk away with a couple of grand worth of profit on this kind of project, but I'm also kind of scared that I might not walk away with the profit and it's going to just consume 2 or 3 weeks worth of my time just getting it built and getting it done. So if you guys got any advice, please feel free to help me out. Like I said, this is my journey. This is me just growing, moving forward. And if you're watching this and trying to learn for yourself, I hope this video helped you out or brought some sort of awareness to you. And drop down and read the comments and you can learn as well as I have. You guys are great. I will talk to you later.